Hi guys, and welcome to another video. And in this lesson, we're going to be looking at plant and animal cells. Now, plant and animal cells are the building blocks of life. Obviously, plant cells are the building blocks for plants, and animal cells are the building blocks not only for animals but also for humans. Now, in school, you may have seen these two cells using something called a light microscope. And a light microscope will just about let you see some organelles of the cell, probably typically the nucleus and maybe the cell wall. But probably with the light microscope, it doesn't give us a big enough magnification, and it doesn't give us a good enough resolution. And that word resolution just means the ability to see the difference between 2 points. Now, we use something called the electron microscope. The electron microscope has a more powerful magnification, and it also has a better resolution than the light microscope. So we're able to see a lot more detail in cells. So much so that we see these tiny organs inside of these cells that we call organelles. And that word organelles just means tiny organs. And we're going to take a look at some of those organelles in this lesson within a plant and an animal cell. So let's start off with our animal cell. The first organelle is the nucleus. And you guys should know that the nucleus is what contains DNA, or the chromosomes, or the genetic information. We also have a cell membrane, and the membrane controls what comes in and what comes out. Then we also have a cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is a jelly-like fluid where all the chemical reactions of that cell take place. Now, we also have mitochondria. And mitochondria are these organelles here where aerobic respiration takes place. We need aerobic respiration to release energy from glucose, and that energy enables us to move or contract our muscles. And our last organelle that we're going to look at for animal cells is the ribosome. And the ribosome is responsible for protein synthesis, or making proteins. Now, a plant cell, and I'll just label that this is a plant cell. The plant cell has all of the organelles that the animal cell has. So I'm not going to rewrite these again, but the plant cell has some extra organelles that are specific to the plant. For example, the plant cell has a cell wall. The cell wall is made of cellulose, and the plant cell needs a cell wall for support and also for structure. Plant cells also have a vacuole, and this vacuole is filled with cell sap. And what can happen is that this vacuole can swell and press against the cell wall to keep the cell what we call turgid, and that just means stiff. Or the vacuole can shrink and make the cell flaccid or floppy. The final organelle for a plant cell that you need to know is something called a chloroplast. Now, what's special about the chloroplast is that they are filled with chlorophyll. And it's this chlorophyll that is the green pigment that makes plants green. Chlorophyll is also responsible for absorbing sunlight for photosynthesis. A typical question would involve you comparing the similarities and the differences between a plant cell and an animal cell. Okay guys, thanks for tuning in. Stay in touch with me.